Welcome to Decoded, our course for MCs and appreciators of hip-hop lyricism, where you learn to identify and break down styles, as well as lyrical skills from the lexicon of elite rap techniques. A couple things about Decoded. It is a lecture-based class. All communication happens in the chat. There will be questions and trivia in between the breakdowns. These classes will last as long as 30 to 45 minutes. The Pendulum Ink textbook and its lexicon is what we are using in reference to these breakdowns. We will go line by line, sometimes adding in commentary with regard to multiple meanings. And with that being said, long live lyricism. Episode 3 of Decoded, we will be breaking down Loaded Lux's freestyle on Funkmaster Flex's show on Hot 97. Before we begin, let's do a quick overview on Loaded Lux and his style. Loaded Lux first debuted on the Smack DVD against Murder Mook. Being from Harlem, battling was a way for MCs to get noticed, and Lux did that ferociously. His style was one to admire by many fans who would tune into his battles, and his one against Young Miles was the craziest one. He'd proceed to do 106 in Park and steamroll through that competition. Afterwards, he started Lions Den, the premier space to see battles back-to-back in the mid-2000s. After much clamoring, fans demanded that Lux return, and he did so against Calico. This battle put Lux on the map for his third round and his now famous quote, "You gonna get this work." He became a hip-hop mainstay with his performance and solidified his spot in the hip-hop pantheon. Lux continued his journey as a battle MC and faced different opponents from 2014 to 2016. In 2017, a veteran in battle rap known as JC called out Lux for being scared and not worthy. Fans were starting to side with JC, and it got Lux's attention. What transpired after was a tweet and then a resounding 5.5-minute freestyle littered with so many devices that people were in awe. This is what happened. Let's break it down line by line so we understand exactly what went down here. Yeah, I was in the areas. Just thought I'd swing by like a girl that's curious. Boys in the hood pops up on you. That's furious. Fierce is when you find your inferiors is inferior. Loaded Lux starts this freestyle with a 3-syllable multi in his first quatrain. The first bar incorporates spatial rhyming, which is allowing for less than 8 syllables to be heard. The second bar incorporates wordplay into a simile. The word curious links with the word thought. Now, being that he is swinging by to rap, it is also in reference to a woman that swings or is a swinger and is also bi as in bisexual. The third line is a double entendre. Now, look, Boys in the Hood is a famous movie where the father or pop's name was Furious Styles. Lux's old rap name was Pop Lux as well. But also, when the guys pop up on you, they are furious. He ends the quatrain with a simile and a glitch for is inferior. Now, it can also be a mirror morph here because it can be seen as inferior is inferior or inferiors is inferior. Crazy stuff right there, man. Our first trivia question will happen right now. Name 5 Lawrence Fishburne movies. 15 seconds, go.
Famous.
Okay, I gave you guys an extra 15 seconds. Great work. Y'all know y'all movies. What's scary is you betting against the odds and you letting these niggas tell you better than what you are. I'm the bar measuring rod. That's where I draw the line on your screen, turning it out like some etching sketching knobs. Odd. Our next quatrain starts off with a safety pin of fearing you with scary is, right? So it starts from that last line. He moves into a 6-syllable multi that syllable stacks to 4 and then to 5 from the focal point. People feel this bar is a subliminal shot too, JC, when he says, you letting people tell you better than what you are. Letting in this sequence is segmenting because it rhymes with betting. This is also a famous quote, you better than what you are. He is using personification as he calls himself the bar measuring rod. The double entendre appears when he begins with draw the line on your screen, turning it out, and then obviously Etch-a-Sketch and its knobs. The double entendre is also a simile. Etch-a-Sketches were famous toys debuting in the past where you can use 2 knobs to create beautiful pictures on a small screen device. You young dummies is lunch money. Either champ think cash is clay or fun putty, lil buddy. The next couplet showcases a metaphor. While using a 3-syllable multi, he is calling young people lunch money, pocket change essentially. He then moves into a splice with the word cash is clay by saying cash is clay. This is wordplay. Being that he is the champ, he treats the cash as if it were clay or fun putty. Cassius Clay was a young boxer growing in the ranks who eventually changed his name to Muhammad Ali. And fun putty is a toy used to mold clay-like substances into fun ideas for small children. Too bad you ain't got you a pot to piss. I'll bake him for this cake. Betty a crock of shit. He moves into the next couplet, which is a 3-syllable multi. He safety pins with Lil Buddy, a small, very unnoticeable piece of segmenting with got and pot. He then uses shadow boxing with bake and cake. The wordplay here is through the splice on Betty Crocker or bet he a crock of shit, which is also a double entendre. The subject is bake. Cake is another word for money, which is the intrigue, and then Betty Crocker is the summation. What's interesting is pots can be used to bake as well, so the setup works just as well. Betty Crocker is a famous baking company that sells dishes for baking. And now we have time for some more trivia. This time I'm really going to give you guys 15 seconds. Name 5 items that Betty Crocker makes, and go.
Hey man, they ain't famous.
All right, that was it. 15 seconds is up. I know some of y'all probably got hungry off that. Let's keep it going. Search your inner circle. Real a virtue, vice a virtue, man. This shit is personal. I saw fights turn into curfews. You commercial. You fuck up the meat and believe vegan, cause for green brothers, she'll be back. You ninjas, turtles. Alright. The next quatrain starts off with a 4-syllable multi. Seeing fights turn into curfews can be classified as a metaphor, but I like it as descriptive realism, where you going inside the house right after you get hit or whatever. The shadow boxing here is meeting and vegan, but also leave and green can be considered that. Think about interlinking it as he doesn't rhyme in his third line. He kind of skips over it. We will be teaching that this month, especially with our legendary guest, Freeway, who is teaching on the 24th of April. The scheme here is very quick. Leave like a leaf, meeting or meet end. Then obviously vegan and green. Wordplay steps in with a little corner bending as a green brother shall be back. He kind of is a tad reachy with shell and shield, but we'll allow it for the double entendre. He calls the dudes ninjas and then turns the turtles into ninjas instead of niggas, right? Ninja Turtles was a popular comic book in the 80s, which he is referencing. All right, this next piece of trivia is coming up. Name 5 characters who were not actually Ninja Turtles. 15 seconds. Go.
Famous.
All right. Shout out to my 80s babies. But Stefan used to be Urkel. Fuck it, make hip hop when they give you hurdles. Heard you. You bet not even slacks with your church shoes. This earth school taught my Ken more about this whirlpool. All right, this quatrain, he syllable stacks to 2 syllables and uses wordplay with make hip hop when they give you hurdles. Think about hurdles. You have to run and hop over it to succeed in that exercise. So make hip hop when they try to play you by calling you a nerd. Stefan Urkel was the alter ego of Steve Urkel on Family Matters, played by Jaleel White. He incorporates hemming into his writing by continuing with heard you and then ending that bar with church shoes and then again with earth school. Wordplay on slacks or slacking in your work with church shoes. Be on your best, even in church shoes, obviously. Double entendre finishes this with Kenmore, the famous appliance company, and Whirlpool, which is what laundromat devices were called. He utilized wordplay with earth and world, or whirl, pool of people, whirlpool. Kenmore or Kinmore. Fabulous wordplay. Ooh, I know I'm better. How could you win this? Like having the last picture ever with Michael Jackson, but hating how your face look in it, and you want to gram it. I'm saying it. You just gonna have to put up with it. Understand it. Now, this next quatrain, he uses a subtle safety pin with ooh. He shadow boxes back and forth with the focal point between could you win this, look in it, and put up with it. That could be the focal point. Then it's gram it and saying it and understand it. It's ambiguous because he uses the stylistic term or overlapping to land outside of the normal bar measure. Finally, capping this out with a simile. How can you win? You can't, so put up with it. You got to accept it. Michael Jackson died in 2009 in June, and if you got the last picture and you hate how your face looks in it, it's nothing you can do about it. The same way he says you can't do nothing about battling him, you're not going to win. Very dope. Pay the bookies, we chasing bullies, because if a bag of act ain't goody, just bake goodies. You play hooky. They still want that Lux with the gray hoodie. I'm like, that's water under a high bridge. Hey, I could boogie. In this next quatrain, he uses a 4-syllable multi, then goes into wordplay with goody and good he. Very subtle. His syllable stacks from 4 to 3 to 5. Not being so technical in his approach. Hemming is being used the moment he says play hooky and then gray hoodie. The famous idiom of that's water under a bridge appears, but it acts as a setup for the double entendre as well. A Boogie with the Hoodie is a Bronx rapper singer from Highbridge. That's the name of his neighborhood. And Loaded Lux signature outfit is a gray hoodie, which to some is his best performance. A, I Can Boogie can also mean he dances well with the bars. Crazy. Look. When most MCs are blind, these moments where I shine, I gotta show you what they hide. Just throw it in, rewind. The poetry's refined. Go in there and find. Every time you get a loaded line, a corona gets a line. This quatrain is a 5-syllable multi that utilizes hemming the entire time. It's also a nod here to the famous commercial that Corona did when anything good happens, a Corona gets a lime. There were over 2,000 catchphrases for that Corona quote, and Loaded Lux added his own to make this work. In the verse, he is telling you what he is doing effortlessly if you study it. Look, it's only in your mind. This isn't clear. This isn't fair. King NY need Diddy shares. Biggie chair. This nigga scared. I circle him in a square. Hold your balls up or get balled up, because it's fair. He starts this quatrain with a safety pin that goes into a new focal with a 3-syllable multi. The shadow box here is tricky because mind and NY can rhyme as a slant, and it sounds that way when you listen. You can also look at the wordplay with King NY or end Y, right? Like asking a question, why would I end this? I need Diddy shares and Biggie chair, who we deemed as the king of New York in that bad boy situation. No Diddy. He uses hemming again with nigga, scared, and in a square. The glitch proceeds with balls up and balled up, ayo, and the double entendre happens when he says circle him in the square as the subject, and the intrigue is balled up while the summation is sphere. A sphere could be seen as mirror morph due to sphere and its sphere, right? How you say it works in that way. He boomeranged back to it isn't fair earlier, as in he asked a question and answered it with it's fair. That is wild. Let's keep it going. It appears that they was never my peers. It's a peer, fruit of my labor that disappeared. I'm a bear on this grizzly. Your city won't drip a tear. If you hear, well, I'm near. Cut with your engineer. This quatrain continues the 3-syllable multi. He also has a glitch using pair 4 times in a couplet. He chain punches from that into fruits of his labor and then bear with grizzly. The shadow boxing with grizzly and city is utilized here as well. Then a masterful Easter egg and mirror morph with hair and nair, or hair and nair, and then says the word cut. Nair was a shaving cream made for women. The wordplay on cut, which are engineers when you cut tracks in a studio. Disappeared could also be seen as disappear as well, but that's debatable depending on who you ask. Fuck it, Buccaneer, fortune keeper, gets stored in freezers. Born achiever who wore Adidas and Jordan sneakers. Since he sported the Caesar, it's nothing new. Clear the war heads who got him like North Korea. Let's keep it tall like Medea. Moving into the next quatrain, he goes into a 4-syllable multi, leading off the safety pin with Buccaneer. It's a chain punch from cut to bucking, stabbing to shooting, basically. Hemming is used throughout this entire quatrain. Syllable stack happens when he gets to the Medea bar. Corner bending also happens when it's nothing new, then clear to warheads. Who got him like North Korea is a simile, as is Medea. More trivia here, and no, trust me, it is not Medea. I'm giving you guys 10 seconds. This should be very easy. Who is the ruler of North Korea? And go. All right. I'm hoping that you guys knew that answer. Son, you're short as a breather. Daddy sugar trick Trina's the world and these dick beaters. You ain't gotta be meaner, at least walk with demeanor. Gang ties, how blood money can have you seized up. This next quatrain has a syllable stack throughout. Starts off with a simile that could be an Easter egg, short as a breather or short as an abbreviation. It can go either way depending on what you feel. Nodding happens as he references Trick Daddy and Trina. Sugar Daddy, they trick, you get it? Crazy dope wordplay. Glitching occurs with meaner and demeanor. He ends with double entendre that leads into a chain punch. Gangs are Bloods and Crips or C's, which is Crips, or they use the letter C. Now, blood money can get you seized up, like snatched. Think about the word ties here. It relates to seized up, so ties and seized up. He uses these words perfectly in his double entendre. This kidnapping, I'm big action, they looking for me, you're plastic, he ain't the real thing, but he getting fried. Catfish, you know you can't keep this short, right? Snap flick, wanna blow up now, but can't cut it, you should call in Capnick. Like we said previously, the chain punch from seized up, then kidnapping, or the person is sleeping. This next quatrain has a 2-syllable multi that syllable stacks. He utilizes back-to-back punching throughout. Big Sean's super duper flow simile style is used on the second bar, right? When he says, it ain't getting fried like catfish, they remove the like, so that's what Big Sean used to do. Catfish is a fishes that get fried, and a catfish is someone impersonating another person. It's also a double entendre. The next double entendre is a reference to Snapchat and how quick their videos used to be in 2017. There's splice wordplay for Colin Kaepernick or Call in Kaepernick. It's kind of reachy, but he is speaking on artists who want to blow but can't cut it. Cap was also cut from his team. Speaking of teams, what team did Colin Kaepernick play for, and did he try out for other teams? 10 seconds and go. Okay. Great answers and responses. I'm jacked in, pending. I break a beat up and bend it. Take a weak nigga, bend him, and take a week if he mend it. Baby, you got the image, patriotic, offended. Player, she was taking the knee before it was trending. Next quatrain is a 7-syllable multi that syllable stacks. Safety pin on the jacked in from the call, and it's a chain punch. Pending assists in that, right? The word pending assists in jacked in. There's so much wordplay with player, patriotic, offended, taking a knee before it was trending. All of that adds to the double entendre on the last bar. It boomeranged back from Colin Kaepernick 4 bars previously. For those that don't know, Colin Kaepernick took a knee because he was protesting for the police officers who had shot Michael Brown way back in the day. Caskets, flex, you never had this. The jab, zab, quick for this bag hit. Embarrassing, bash him. He went for the mattress. Taxes trying to go for Hill of the Troy. Achilles niggas, I'm Brad Pitt. More quatrains. Here we go. This is a 2-syllable multi which showcases segmenting, hemming, and a double entendre. The segmenting is jab on the focal point, zab, quick. Hemming is bash him and mattress, and there's wordplay on Achilles. He's saying he'll kill these niggas like Brad Pitt, who starred in Troy. It sounds like he said go for the heel on Troy, or it could have been Helen. It was very hard to hear. Anyway, let's name 7 Brad Pitt movies. I'm giving you guys 30 seconds, and go.
Famous.
10 seconds.
Hey, man.
All right. Shout out to all the Brad Pitt fans in the building. Thieves looking with the scully like he Mulder, the loner who banded with his brothers like a Jonas. Ammonia's. I tear nigga like ammonia's. Got funky, your shooters ain't sent nothing but aroma. This next quatrain is a 2-syllable multi, and he starts it off with a simile. Scully and Mulder were 2 characters on the show X-Files, and wearing a Scully is kind of like a ski mask or like a hat on top of your head when it's cold in New York City. He then has another simile right after it, constituting that as back-to-back punching. Jonas Brothers were a band, so he banded together with his brothers. Hemming is still here with Onyas and Ammonia. Terra is an ammonia brand. It also doubles as a simile. Right? Terra, nigga, like ammonia. He's talking about I'll rip somebody apart. Wordplay happens in the 4th line going into his double entendre. Funky and scent help this entendre massively, right? Scent and scent, scent as in smelling, and then scent as in sending something. On these corners, shorty only do it because it's cool. Fuck him only wants to listen to now is music that moves. We don't want to hear that unity, fool. Guess them niggas was so Harlem was trying to change the community too. Moving to this quatrain, it's a 5-syllable focal that syllable stacks to a 4-syllable. The safety pin here is for corners. Wordplay and pointing out is the catalyst here. In 2016, there was a movement to call Harlem Soha or So Harlem, gentrification at its finest. The community stepped in and said, absolutely not. He is talking to a kid who doesn't look at it that way, but the wordplay on So Harlem is bringing to light what that situation was. I'm like, ooh, hard to ask him how he's doing in school. He just rude, but I can dig it, life is a jewel, but it's true. He proceeds into a couplet that has hemming. No big syllable count here, but the metaphor is life is a jewel. Consider the word dig is right before that. People dig to find raw jewels. Learn from it. Don't follow the same mistakes again in Satan's grip. Trip, catch you off guard like an atheist. I'll break your Following couplet has a 3-syllable multi and ends with a double entendre that's a simile. Catch off guard like an atheist has been used many, many times. But I think the dopest part of this bar is Satan's grip, and also trip, which leads into catching you off guard because, you're stumbling or whatever. I'll knock Calvin right out his glasses. They gassed him. Find out the hard truth in your war boots. Stormtroop fighting a strong case. Why the long face? Mean brought up in a short state. On your court date. This quatrain has 3 focal points. Glasses and gassed him. War boots and stormtroops. Long face and court date. It's a 2-syllable multi throughout, however. He chain punches with break your shit, not Calvin. Then stormtroop fighting with court date. Long face and short stay has some wordplay attached to it as well, and some could see this as filler, however. I think it's just great rhyming being showcased. Damn, you're listening to a musician trying to tell his beautician this track ain't for horseplay. This couplet has shadow boxing due to the interlinking. 3-syllable shadow boxing at that. Wordplay here is musician, beautician, track, and horseplay. Horses have long hair used for weaves or tracks, and tracks are where horses play or race. Double entendre being used here for people to catch. So you got to think about a musician, they rhyme on tracks, and horseplay is like you playing around, but then a beautician also use tracks from a horse to put on a woman's head. Crazy. I'm a standout. I told her I'm a good cat. She got her hands out. I mean, what you niggas expect? You took the stand out. This couplet again has a 2-syllable multi. The idiom here is a famous one. I'm a good catch. He then adds a punchline to it by saying she got her hands out. Shadowboxing is here due to catch and expect, while the focal point is hands out and stand out. He glitches with stand out again, which leads into fumbling in the next couplet. Fumbling, hit with the book, crumbling, just beat. Can't take the rap now. You're mumbling. Right here is a 3-syllable multi that ends in a double entendre. Beat, rap, and mumbling. This was a popular term back in 2017, mumble rap. But he is saying you're getting beat and can't take the raps, so you're mumbling from the punching he is doing. You're weak, small, frail, I wore a shell. War's hell, no relief. Pain runs deep, don't think our aura's gel. This next couplet is a 3-syllable multi, and he does a clever safety pin with weak from beat in the previous line. He then uses weak to shadow box with relief and deep. The double entendre contains a splice with wordplay. Oragel is a toothpaste that helps the relief and pain in your tooth. But Lux is saying aura, and I don't want y'all to think these things gel together, right? All right, trivia time, and I'm giving you guys 15 seconds for this one. I need y'all to name 4 toothpastes with your hot-ass breath. All right? 15 seconds, starting now.
Hey, man. They ain't famous.
All right. I'm glad everyone here is hygienic. Can't jack with young and jocking, how? Tweeting like a thug, 100 rounds, meet you at the club, you're in a gown, fuck who you was, we got it now. This next quatrain goes into nodding, and it's an Easter egg reference as he is attacking Young Thug and Young Jock for wearing dresses. Jocking is in reference to Young Jock. Meet You in the Club is one of his songs, and Tweeting Like a Thug is in reference to Young Thug, who wore a dress on his album cover, Jeffrey, and he tweeted it out back in 2016. I'm still clicking. Difference I never traded on one member. Niggas better all find a Farrakhan at a Trump dinner. Moving to the next couplet, it's a 3-syllable multi and he shadow box with clicking and difference. Wordplay on finding Louis Farrakhan dining with Donald Trump. It would never happen, the same way he would never be a traitor to his members. Where the thugs, killers collide, you guys non-operative. You're not for this. In the populace, the total opposite. Stop the shits. Two-apocalypse. Keep it positive. You're about to watch me raise up on you just like a Cosby kid. The next quatrain is a 3-syllable multi with a safety pin from Thugs, Killers. Then hemming happens throughout the entire quatrain. Easter egg with Tupacalypse, which some deem as one of Tupac's most positive projects. We would consider that nodding. He then has a simile with raise up on you like a Cosby kid, but watch me raise up on you since they were on television. The Cosby Show was a famous show on syndicated television that aired for a bunch of seasons. Great double entendre. Okay, can we name the members of the Cosby family? 30 seconds. Go!
Hey man, they ain't famous.
All right. The problem is he thinking too much. I put my heart in it. Hard denims, waist to the cuff. And I'ma walk in them. This couplet has a 3-syllable multi where the safety pin is prevalent with problem is. The shadow box is on much and cuff. Metaphor is he puts his heart in it as opposed to thinking too much. All the way to your door. I do home visits, dog. Bury you in your own backyard. Pick a bone with him. He continues the couplet with a shadow box on door, dog, and yard. The famous idiom pick a bone was used as a double entendre. Dog, bury you in your own backyard was the subject and intrigue, which is insane to even go into that kind of bag when he got to pick a bone with him, which was the summation. Hold the will, give you that holy feel, hitting like Holyfield, mixed with some golden seal, off a pint of Henny, finna overdose on pills, riding dirty, unlicensed firearm with the open seal. Now, on to this next quatrain. At first, I had it as a 3-syllable multi because hold the will was where the focal point started. But then hit in like Holyfield is a 6-syllable and he does it throughout with mixed with some golden seal, finna overdose, etc., etc., etc. He starts off with the simile out the gate. He compares his hitting to Evander Holyfield, the famous boxer from the 90s, and also turns his last name into a glitch with Holyfield and Holyfield. I'm still that dangerous. I'm from out of that hangar, different rap chamber. You know where you at, stranger? This couplet is a 3-syllable multi with wordplay on hangar, which is where planes reside. Consider it's a completely different chamber than from what people are used to, and he makes people sure they know that. That talk dirty in stores, yeah, I'll make a movie and do the score. I know in J to Z they have reasons to doubt, sure, but I just saw 22 twos when it's times 2, gonna give you 444, Lord. Continue on to this quatrain, there is no syllable count and it's just wordplay with nodding. I like the reference with him saying, I'll make movie with this music and do the score for it, which is basically the soundtrack to what we're hearing. And then from J to Z as in the alphabet, but also Jay-Z, the famous MC. He references Jay-Z's first and last album at that time, which was Reasonable Doubt and 444s. Coincidentally, 22 twos is on Reasonable Doubt as well. All right, trivia time, and you guys got 30 seconds. Name 10 Jay-Z albums. And go.
Hey man, they ain't famous.
All right. Now do the math on that. Don't imagine it. The fact is that I'm something different. At the same habitat, I battle rap and I drop records. Do the Cabbage Patch or get your cabbage patched, right? And first of all, you got to love Jay-Z trivia. But this quatrain here is a 3-syllable multi with a glitch on Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch was a dance we did back in the 90s, and cabbage can be referenced as your cranium. Cut me in, however you dissect it. This ain't that put that faith in favors later. Thank the neighbors. I came to bring that thing that cracks the creator's data. The great debater. You're slow, at least a turtle know exactly why Morris never lifted weights with Slater. This next sequence starts off from the last bar. He wants to be cut in whatever is working when it comes to music and battling. And when you dissect something, you cut. There's a 4-syllable multi that starts, and then the shadow boxing occurs with bring and thing, also slow and no. The splice is at least a turtle, no. Lisa Turtle was a character on Saved by the Bell. AC Slater lifted weights on the show. Now, this might be a reach to me, because why would a turtle know Zach Morris never lifted weights with AC Slater? This is just wordplay, no double meaning. I think that this is just great rhyming as well. Like, he's calling himself the great debater. He cracks the creator's data. You know, put your faith in favors later. Thank the neighbors. This is just all great rhyming. But anyway, let's name a couple cast members off Saved by the Bell other than the ones that I named. Let me give you guys 15 seconds and let's go. Five seconds. Okay. I love Saved by the Bell, so this was great for me. What may have saved you is Mr. Bell then. But know your principles, because branching out, they don't teach you that in judicial school. The chi is deep. Swave 7 ninja jujitsu moves, official view, stripes with your wife, getting this whistle tune. These next 2 quatrains use a 3-syllable multi throughout, and he is back-to-back punching the entire time. He starts off with a safety pin on what have saved you, right? The wordplay happens when he says Mr. Bell then, right? Which was the principal's name on the show. Principal's double here, and it's a double entendre, right? Especially when it goes into judicial school, keeping that thing going. Branches in the judicial system get taught at judicial school, but he is saying they don't teach you those principles there. Nodding is used when referencing Swave 7, the popular battle rapper out of Harlem who was famous for his martial arts skills. He is saying his chi is just as deep as his. Shadow boxing on stripes and wife happens, and hemming is here along with the double entendre for official, stripes, and whistle, likening it to oral sex. And where is the hemming? The hemming is jujitsu moves, official views, stripes with your wife, getting this whistle tuned, right? That's where the hemming was. Bottom wisdom tooth, pull up on you, get you chewed, if you choose, fuck a friend, pile of money, Mr. Scrooge, head to toe, they read the glow, Dorothy clicking shoes, wizard at these odds, my nigga, but they'll be missing you. Double entendre starts this line off with pulling a bottom wisdom tooth out, and then get you chewed if he pulls up on you to rap. He continues it with choose, which is interesting wordplay. Double entendre here again with pile of money or pal of money, which is absolutely incredible usage of wordplay. Mr. Scrooge was the antagonist in the famous Christmas story, A Christmas Carol. He was a man that just loved his money. It could also be for Scrooge McDuck, because low-key he loved his piles of money in his vault. Head to toe and red to glow is shadow boxing. Red and red double here and can be used. That was a double entendre for the Wizard of Oz. Red shoes is what Dorothy wore. Wizards at these odds was a little reach, but it's still back-to-back punching. And don't forget, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz missed home. So that's probably why he said that. Last 4 bars right here. I'm ready to go. Wanda was Jamie Foxx who did Ray. So know if you bringing me shade, how I play around my way. If I'm on my way and you in my way, know if I don't get my way, ain't no way you get in the way. Bang. Finale at the end of the whole freestyle, he has a quatrain talking about Jamie Foxx, who played Ray Charles as well as Wanda in Living Color, but references the Ray character, which impacts more on the bar due to Ray always wearing shades, and that's how he plays. That's how he played the piano. If you give him shade, which is how Ray Charles actually played. Crazy double entendre. The last 2 bars ends with the magnificent glitch, which was done in 2 bars on the word way, which was used 6 times. My goodness. And listen, there you have it. That was us breaking down Loaded Lux on Hot 97. I mean, frankly, this was very epic. It took me longer than most of the ones that I've done previously. Very grateful to have done it. Should be an incredible class that you guys experienced. We will be back in 2 weeks for Andre 3000 on 16 Ain't Enough. I can't wait to see you guys next week. Let's talk about this. What do you guys think about this Loaded Lux freestyle? Let's have a discussion. What was your favorite bar? Welcome. If this is your first time here, we do these classes every 2 weeks. It's a lecture-based joint where we talk in the chat. Sign up to pendulumink.com to get more Decoded. Peace. Long live.